told me you will need a little time of preparation, only a few seconds. And we are looking forward to the time will be 20 minutes. So to the timer, just shows the green signal after I think 18, 19 minutes. So I think that would be great. And as you can see, we will also speak about shoes. So there was no, it's so. Everything's on. Wow. So please let me welcome again our workshop master today.
Thank you, Christian. According to science, everything we know and everything we are burst forth in a fiery blaze called the Big Bang. Some 14.5 billion years ago. Give or take a million here or there. And out of that super hot, super dense cloud coalesced the dust of universes, of stars, and of planets. And in such a universe, around such a star, coalesced our world. Eons passed, and from the primordial ooze, life emerged. And more eons passed, and life became more diverse. And then within the blink of an eye, we were there. So out of all of this time and random chance, we get to stand on our own 2 feet. Now just think about that for a moment. Let it sink in. The next time you go and buy a pair of shoes. Because don't you owe it to yourself as business people, and as you know as business people, you don't get a second chance to put your best foot forward. So what's on the end of your feet can be very, very important. Don't underestimate it. Having a nice suit, a jacket, trouser suit, nice glasses, good watch. And then what happens? You go and put some terrible shoes on your feet. Disaster. There's no need. All you need is a good pair of shoes. Now I know what you're thinking. Good shoes cost a fortune, right? No. Well, actually, good shoes really do cost a fortune. A good pair of John Lobs is about 1,800 to 4,500 depending on model. Okay, but think about this. They are going to last your entire life. This pair of shoes, which was produced in my hometown of Northampton, the capital city of all shoemaking in the UK, these are a pair of Church's shoes. And they cost me 32 years ago, the equivalent of 400 Deutschmarks. A small fortune to me then. As you can see, they're still looking pretty damn good. Which means they only actually cost me under €7 a year. That's not bad. The economics of good shoe wear really works for all of us when we want to put our best foot forward. Now, do you have to go and spend a load of money on a pair of shoes? Well, no. This pair of shoes only cost €170. They're a pair of loadings. You can buy these in Frankfurt just by the Alte Oper. Now, I've already had these 7 years, and they're going strong. Yeah? So you don't have to spend a complete fortune to have good looking attractive footwear. But no matter how much you will spend on a pair of shoes, whether it's ladies' shoes, men's shoes, does not matter. No matter how much you've spent, they will look like crap in no time after they've spent a whole day on your feet around the dust and muck of those gritty streets of Frankfurt, if you don't look after them. So when you buy a good pair of shoes, there's a couple of things extra you need to think about. You need a pair of shoe trees. These are cedar wood, and as you'll see, they're double-barreled and they spring. Okay? Why do I have these in every pair of shoes I own? Because they help stretch the leather and keep everything in its perfect shape. Okay? If you sweat into a pair of shoes which contains a lot of salt, by the way, and do not put shoe trees in after, and please never put plastic shoe trees in, because it will not absorb the sweat. You put these in, they'll keep their shape. You don't put shoe trees in, they will shrink, they will shrivel. Yeah? Ladies, who amongst you would not cream your face? Yeah? Of course you would, but okay, you look young anyway. But these are a living thing. You might think they're dead cowhide, but they're not. They're alive, and they want to be treated well. So the next thing you need is a shoe bag. Nice and soft. And when you've put your shoe tree in, you put it into a single, not a double, shoe bag.
Wow.
They should always be on their own. They are now fully protected against the elements. They are going to last you decades. But then, you've got to clean them, haven't you? Yeah? This particular pair of shoes has probably had 100 coats of polish. That's why they look like this over 30 years later. I'm going to ask you to take your boot off. Anyone? We've already agreed this one. Now this is an average pair of cowhide boots. Now these boots, probably around about 150 to 250 euros, somewhere in that sort of region. Okay, they've obviously not been kept with shoe trees, correct? Okay, yes. Absolutely, I thought so. Okay, why? Because now they're looking like an old man's skin. Wrinkled. They've probably never been fed, have they? No. I know.
Wow.
So if you're going to spend any amount of money on shoes, you need shoe cream. You need hard wax polish. You need an old rag, and you need one soft brush. Let me show you what you need to do. This is simple stuff. This is how I spend my Sundays. It's very zen-like. What you do is get a little bit of nice, good quality lanolin-based shoe cream. This is to feed them and work in. And you work that in to the cowhide. Now, when you're buying a very expensive pair of shoes, what you want to know is that they are full grain leather, nothing else. And that the grain, or the leather, has come from the back of the cow, right down the spine. That is the best leather that you can have for a shoe. These type of boots will be from the belly of the cow. Okay? And the problem with that is, the leather gets thinner, and it also gets more wrinkly. I'm only going to do the front part of your shoe here, otherwise I'll have to charge you for this. You work that into the seams here. Again, if you're going to buy a good pair of shoes, and 99 times out of 100, if you're spending over 500 euros on a pair of shoes, they will be good. They should be Goodyear welted. This allows them, this is a technique of joining the sole to the upper with a welting part through the sole here, These are not Goodyear welted. They will not particularly last very long, okay, even if you look after them, because you'll never be able to resole these. Goodyear welted shoes you can resole. Now normally you'd leave that wax to work into there for about 10 minutes, but we don't have 10 minutes, so we're just going to work right. You then get another piece of your old cloth, and you can tell I've used this quite a bit, right? Okay. It's been with me a few years now, it's part of the family. And you give that a good polish. You work that lanolin into the leather. And why are you doing this? So that your leather never splits and your shoes can stay with you. And you don't have to go and spend a load of money on new shoes every year. And more importantly, that when you go to a business meeting, you can be absolutely sure that people will go, yeah, he's the man. Or the woman. You know, maybe a nice pair of Gucci's, something like that. A Nutza. Okay? See, they're starting to come up a little bit now. Now then, this is the bit where I really get to disrespect you, I'm afraid. It's the hard polish part. I always use Kiwi hard polish, but any good quality hard polish will do. What you do is you get a little bit, not too much, about that much. This is not spit on your grate, this is spit on your shoes. You need a little bit of moisture. You could just have water. I'm going to work that in tiny little circles. Actually, spit's quite good because it's got enzymes in it. If you really want to get into this, Merlot wine or ice cold champagne is the best. And if you've really got some money and some good shoes, you can join the Swan Club in Paris, which is dedicated just to polishing shoes.
On Sundays?
You're the founder?
If you're invited, which I've never been, unfortunately, and you're doing tiny little circles on here, and about 1 out of 10 is a 3 pressure. You're just trying to work that at the moment. Build a little layer. Okay, on there, on there, on there. Just keep working it, keep working it. This is very zen-like. Oh, you're nearly getting to shine on those, maybe not. Then I breathe on them. That helps soften the wax and gives a little bit of extra moisture. The reason you want moisture is to help the wax turn, and it also impregnates the wax and helps moisturise your shoes. Yes, I did say moisturise your shoes. Now, normally, about 20 times more of this would get you a decent shine. And the hard wax should only be on the tips and around the back of your shoe. It should never be in the soft parts where your foot bends, because it will crack the leather. And as you can see, that's now starting to get a little bit of a shine. That only took me about, what, under 5 minutes? All you need, a pair of shoe trees, shoe bag, and some polish. And you too will be able to put your best foot forward. Thank you. That's it.
Yeah. I have 2 more money for you.